Alright, chapter 7, section 2, we're going over adding and subtracting decimals. So number 1, we want to write decimals as fractions, then add. So first, for part A, we're going to write a 6.7 as a fraction. So the easiest way to do that is you see 6.7, that's 7/10. So I'm going to put this over 10. And then just write it as 67 over 10. So whatever the last decimal place is, that's the power of 10 you'll put on the bottom, and then we'll add them. So the 28.7 is going to be 287 over 10 tenths, and then the 65 is 65 hundredths. So we're going to put 65 over 100. I don't know that they want us to reduce to lowest terms. So let's just try it out as 67 over 10, and then 287 over 10, which I don't think those will reduce. It doesn't say, this says type integer fraction. Normally they want lowest terms. I will convert this back, but I'll divide by 5, and we'll make this one to be 13 over 20. Okay. Just usually math always wants things in lowest terms, simplify it as much as possible. Okay. Now we're going to add them. Okay, so we can get common denominators by just multiplying these by 2. Everything will be over 20. So if I multiply by 2, 280 will be 560, 574. And then times 2, top and bottom, will give us over 20. 60 is 120, 134. Alright, now we can just add all of these across. So 4 and 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11. So we'll have a 1, and we have to carry a 1 to the 10. So adding 1, 2, 9, and 3 is 12. So carry a 2, carry a 1 over. And then we have 5, 6, 7. So we have 721 over 20, and I don't believe this will reduce. So we'll try 721 over 20. Okay, so maybe it will. Let's get our calculator and double check everything. Okay, here we go. So we know the fraction parts are right. Let me double check the multiplication. 67 times 2, 134. Okay, 287 times 2. And we get 574. Okay, so we're going to add 134 and 13. We get 721 divided by 20, 36. So if we do math, enter, yeah, it won't reduce. So add the fractions part A, write your answer in decimal form. Okay, so they just want it in decimal form, which is 36.05. So I just didn't read that. 36.05. Okay, which we could have done the same thing just by adding it up in decimal form. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for part B. 1.62, that's 62 hundredths. So I'm going to say It's going to be 162 over 100. And then the 21 8/76 thousandths. So we're going to have 21 8/76 over 1,000. Okay. And then of course we're going to reduce these to lowest terms. So divide by 2, and that will give us 81 over 50. And divide by 2. This will give us something over 500. Divide by 2, 3, divide by 2. If I'll do that working backwards. 2 goes into 2 once. Goes into 1 0 times. 18 9 times. 7 3 times, and then 16 8. Okay, so this is still even, so we'll divide by 2 again. 2 goes into 10 5 times, into 9 4, with 1 13, 6 times, and 18 9. And this will be 250. Okay. And then from there we'll leave it. Okay, so we're going to say 81 over 50. And then 5469 over 250. Okay, so now we want to add the fractions and then write it in decimal form. So instead of just adding the fractions, which we will just have to multiply by 5, I'm just going to go ahead and add the decimal forms because we want to put it in decimal form anyway. But all you have to do is multiply this by 5 to get a common denominator once it's reduced, and then add those two. Since they don't want it in fraction form, it's not going to serve very much purpose except for practice, which I'm going to assume that you already have. 876. So if we just add up the fraction parts, we end up with 6 9 4, carry your 1, 3 2, so 23 496.